Adrian, don't hang up yet. I laughed into the phone that night. I'll be home in 10 minutes. Then you can kiss me instead of rushing me off the line. His voice was soft, almost embarrassed. Drive safe. I'll see you soon, love. Remember smiling, gripping the wheel tighter. That was the last time I heard his voice before everything went dark. The screech of tires, the blinding headlights, my scream, then silence. When I opened my eyes, everything was white walls, sheets, ceiling. My body ached as though knives were lodged in my bones. Mom! My voice cracked. She rushed to me, eyes wet. You're awake. Thank God you're awake. I tried to sit up, but pain slammed me back down. Where's Adrian? Where's Emily? Mom froze. Her lips trembled. Sweetheart, don't push yourself. Rest first. I grabbed her wrist, weak but desperate. Tell me, where are they? Dad entered, his tone forced calm. They'll come soon. Just focus on healing. Why aren't they here already? My chest tightened. Didn't anyone tell them my voice broke? I could have died. Mom looked away. You were gone for months. Everything's different now. Months. My head spun. How many? Almost 6, Dad muttered. 6 months. 6 months of silence. 6 months without Adrian holding my hand. Without Emily crying by my bed. Why didn't anyone answer me sooner? I whispered. Mom smoothed my hair. Don't cry, darling. You're alive. It's what matters. No. My nails dug into the blanket. What matters is why they aren't here. Later that night, when the nurses left, I stared at the ceiling, haunted. The room was too quiet, too empty. I pressed the call button and begged for my phone. The nurse hesitated. Your belongings, they weren't with you when you arrived. Then call Adrian's number for me, please. She sighed and dialed. After a pause, she handed me the phone. Hello? Woman's voice answered. My stomach dropped. Emily? I croaked. Emily, it's me. There was silence, then a sharp inhale. You? She stopped. Her voice changed, cold, controlled. I can't talk right now. Wait, my hand shook. Put Adrian on. Please tell him I'm awake. Click. The line went dead. Tears blurred my vision. Why wouldn't she let me speak to him? Why hadn't he rushed here the second I woke? When Mom returned, I whispered. Emily answered his phone. Why? Her face turned pale. Don't ask questions tonight. You need strength. Strength for what? I demanded. What are you hiding from me? Dad sighed heavily. Not now, but I already knew. Not the details, not the truth, but the ache in my chest told me everything had changed. I lay back, heart pounding. The accident hadn't just stolen my time, it had stolen my life. That night, swore through silent tears, I will find out what happened while I was gone. Welcome. Home, sweetheart, Mom said softly as I stepped through the doorway. Her smile wavered, more pity than joy. Dad added. We'd been waiting for this day. His tone was steady, but his eyes darted away. The air inside felt heavy, suffocating. I forced a smile. I thought I'd feel different, happy, but everything feels strange. Don't push yourself, Mom whispered. You need time? Before I could answer, footsteps echoed behind me. I turned, my heart leaping. Adrian. I whispered, Adrian, but. Then Emily appeared beside him, her hand sliding into his like it belonged there. She beamed. Surprise. My voice cracked. Why is he here? Silence. No one moved. Dad shifted. Uncomfortably. Mom wrung her hands, and Adrian wouldn't meet my eyes. Emily squeezed his arm. Because, she said sweetly, he's my husband now. The words hit harder than any car ever could. I staggered back. What did you just say? Emily tilted her head. We married 3 months ago. Everyone thought it was best. Best. My chest burned. I was lying in a hospital bed. How could you? Adrian finally spoke, his voice hoarse. Emily was there when you weren't. I cut him off, shaking. You promised me forever. You swore you'd wait. His gaze dropped. I thought you'd never wake up. And that makes it right to marry my sister. My laugh was bitter, broken. Tell me, Adrian, did you cry for me at all? He opened his mouth, but Emily interrupted. Don't attack him. You left him alone. You left all of us. I left. My voice cracked. I didn't choose the accident. Didn't choose the coma. But you chose him. Her smile faltered, but only for a second. Life doesn't stop for one person. I love him now. That's the truth. I turned to my parents, desperate. You knew you let this happen. Mom's eyes filled with tears. We thought maybe it was better than grieving forever. We wanted you alive. But we had to accept the worst, Dad muttered. It's complicated. Don't make a scene. I laughed bitterly. Don't make a scene. My fiancé, my life stolen by my own sister, and you tell me not to make a scene. Emily's voice softened, but every word sliced me open. Don't hate me. I only did. What felt right? You'll understand one day. Understand? My throat tightened. No, Emily, I understand perfectly. You never wanted to see me happy, and now you've proven it. Adrian whispered, please don't look at me like that. I stared at him, trembling. Ken, then how should I look at you? Like the man I loved? Or the stranger who married my sister while I was fighting for my life? The silence was unbearable. My chest felt hollow, shattered. That day, I realized the accident hadn't killed me. Betrayal had. That was the day I died a second time. Emily, explain this to me, I demanded, my voice shaking. How could you marry Adrian while I was still alive? She smiled softly, tilting her head. We thought you were gone forever. I had to move on. He had to move on. You had too. My laugh was bitter. I was breathing in that hospital bed. Did you even visit? Her lips curled. Once, but it was too painful to watch. You were like a ghost. Adrian needed comfort. I was there. I turned to him. Is that true? You needed comfort so badly, you forgot me. He stared at the floor. I didn't forget, I just couldn't keep waiting. Every day they said you might never wake up, so you gave up. My chest ached. That's all I was worth to you 6 months of patience. His silence was answer enough. I spun toward my parents. And you, how could you bless this? How could you smile at their wedding? Gat muttered. We didn't smile. We endured. You were gone. We had no choice. Mom's voice broke. We wanted you back, but life kept moving. We thought maybe it was what fate intended. Fate, I snapped. No, this wasn't fate. This was betrayal. Emily stepped closer, her eyes glittering. Don't be dramatic. You should be grateful. Least he's still in the family. Grateful. My hands clenched into fists. You stole my future and you expect me to thank you. She smirked. Maybe your future wasn't meant to be yours. I wanted to scream, but the words lodged in my throat. The room closed in, suffocating me. I stumbled outside, gasping for air. Later that night, Mia slipped into my room. She hugged me tightly. I heard, "Are you okay?" "No," I whispered. "I'll never be okay again." She pulled back, her expression hard. You need to know the truth. Emily didn't just take Adrian. She took everything. What do you mean? Your house sits in her name now? Your jewelry? Gone. Even the money your grandmother left you, it's all under Emily's control. I shook my head. No, that's impossible. My inheritance. She found a loophole. Mia cut in. Your coma gave her the chance. She convinced everyone you wouldn't return. My knees buckled. So while I was fighting for my life, she was stealing it piece by piece. Yes, Mia's voice softened, and no one stopped her. Tears blurred my vision. Adrian, my parents, everyone I trusted. They let her erase me. Mia gripped my hands. Then don't let her win. You're alive. Take it back. Words struck something deep inside me. The rage that burned in my chest wasn't just anger anymore, it was fuel. I wiped my tears and whispered, Emily may have stolen everything, but I'm still here. And I'm not done. I pushed open the door to my old room, expecting comfort, but the air felt foreign. What is this? I whispered. Emily's dresses lined the closet. Her perfume clung to the air. My shelves, once filled with my books and photographs, now displayed. Her handbags and jewelry. I yanked open drawers empty. My things gone. Mom appeared in the doorway, flustered. Sweetheart, don't upset yourself. Where's my wedding dress? I demanded. She hesitated. It isn't here anymore. Not here. My throat burned. The dress Adrian and I chose together. Where is it? Before she could answer, Adrian's voice came from behind her. Emily got rid of it. I spun to face him. She what? He shifted uncomfortably. You weren't coming back. She said it was cruel to keep it. Cruel. My laugh was bitter. Cruel. Is stealing my life while I was fighting for it? He muttered. Emily was there for me when you weren't. My chest caved in. I wasn't there because I was unconscious. I was battling death every second. He looked away. I know, but you weren't here. She was. My hands shook. So loyalty means nothing to you. Our vows meant nothing. He whispered. I was lonely. Lonely, I screamed. And you fixed it by sleeping with my sister, by erasing me from my own home. He flinched but stayed silent. Coward. I stormed into the living room, my parents trailing after me. Tell me where my jewelry is. Grandma's necklace, where is it? Dad's face darkened. Emily wears it now. She said it comforted her. Was mine? I choked out. She's parading around in everything I own, and you just let her? Mom tried to soothe me. We didn't want more conflict. She insisted it helped her cope. Cope? My voice cracked. She didn't lose anything? I did. Adrian's voice followed me into the room, low, tired. You're hurting yourself. With this anger, I whirled on him. No, Adrian. I'm hurting because you betrayed me. Because while I was gone, you let her strip me bare my love, my house, my memories until nothing was left. He rubbed his face. You don't understand. Then explain it. I shouted. Silenced that night, I locked myself in the guest room. I buried my face into the pillow and sobbed until my chest ached. Every corner of this house screamed of Emily's victory, of Adrian's weakness. It's my parents' cowardice, but somewhere inside the storm of tears, something hardened. I whispered into the darkness. I will not beg for love that betrayed me. I will not fight for a life you tried to erase. My voice cracked, but my resolve did not. If Emily wants my life so badly, whispered, then she'll see what it costs to steal it. Mia leaned across the cafe table, lowering her voice. Can't just sit here crying forever? Do you want revenge or not? I stirred my coffee slowly, forcing a faint smile. Revenge takes patience. Emily thinks I'm broken. Let her. She's flaunting your life in front of you. Mia pressed. Doesn't that make you sick? Does, I admitted. But anger without proof is useless. I need facts. Evidence. Her eyes narrowed. Then, let's dig. That night, Mia spread papers across my bed. Look, your inheritance was tied to marriage before 30. Emily married Adrian and claimed it. She forged documents with your parents' reluctant signatures. My stomach twisted. So she didn't marry him for love. She married him for my money. Exactly, Mia said. And Adrian went along with it because his company is drowning. I clenched my fists. So he sold me out for profit. Yes, Mia whispered. But we can use that. Investors hate weakness. They hear about his failing numbers, he's finished. I smirked. Then we give them something to hear. The next week, I smiled sweetly at Emily over dinner. How's Adrian's company doing? Expanding. Her eyes flickered. Course, we're doing better than ever. Really? I tilted my head because I heard whispers about unpaid loans. Adrian choked on his drink. Emily shot me. A glare. You shouldn't believe gossip. Maybe, I said softly, but gossip has a funny way of reaching investors. Her grip tightened on her glass. Don't play games with us? I smiled wider. I wouldn't dream of it. Later, Adrian cornered me in the hallway. What are you trying to do? Nothing, I said innocently. I just asked a question. He grabbed my arm. Stay out of our business. I yanked free. Our business. Do you mean the company you risked my inheritance on? The one you used my sister to cover? His jaw clenched, but he said nothing. That's what I thought, I whispered, walking away. 2 days later, Mia called. It's working. The right people are starting to talk. Adrian's investors are nervous. I allowed myself a small smile. Good. Let them panic. Emily won't take this quietly, Mia warned. She can scream all she wants. I'll be smiling. At the next family dinner, Emily plastered on a grin. Adrian and I are traveling soon. Business expansion, you know. Oh, I asked sweetly. Funny because one of his partners called me yesterday. He seemed worried. Adrian's fork froze halfway. Emily's smile cracked. I leaned closer, my voice low. You wanted my life so badly, Emily. Let's see how well you can handle the pressure. Her eyes burned into mine, but I only smiled brighter. Inside, my rage finally tasted like victory. The house was quiet, but Emily's voice cut through the stillness like a knife. I don't care what it takes. She snapped into the phone. You'll get your money when Adrian fixes this mess. Do you think I enjoy dealing with your threats? I froze at the doorway, hidden in shadows. Her voice trembled. The investors pull out? We're ruined. No, listen to me. I said we'll find a way. I covered my mouth, suppressing a laugh. Their empire was cracking. She slammed the phone down, muttering curses. Then Adrian's tired voice drifted from the living room. Who is it this time? Another creditor, she spat. They're circling like vultures, he groaned. I told you expansion was risky. You told me nothing, she snapped. You're the one drowning us. His silence was heavy. I stepped further into the shadows, savoring the chaos. Emily's voice softened but sharpened again. Do you know what the worst part is? She's watching us fall? My sister. Should have stayed gone, Adrian muttered. Emily? No. She hissed. She's nothing now. She lost everything. She should have stayed dead. Her words stabbed deep, but instead of pain, fire surged in my chest. I finally stepped forward. Funny, I'm very much alive. Emily spun, eyes blazing. What are you doing here? Walking, I said coolly. The walls aren't soundproof, you know? Her lips curled. Eavesdropping suits you. Always clinging to scraps. I smirked. Scraps. Interesting choice of word considering your husband is begging creditors to keep the lights on. Adrian's face flushed. You don't understand? Business, business. I cut him off. Business is about trust. And right now, your investors trust you less than I do with us is saying something. Emily slammed her glass down. Get out. I tilted my head. Why? Afraid I'll hear more truths. Leave, she screamed. I walked closer instead. You took my fiancé, my inheritance, my home. But you forgot something, Emily's secrets. Never stay buried, and yours are rotting. Adrian's jaw clenched, but Emily sneered. You're weak. That accident broke you. You think you can scare me? I leaned close enough to whisper, I don't need to scare you. I just need to watch you fall. Her breath hitched, anger flashing across her face. You'll regret. This will I asked softly, because from where I'm standing, regret looks more like unpaid debts and sleepless nights. For a moment, silence swallowed the room. Only their shallow breaths filled the air. Then I smiled, turning toward the door. Sweet dreams, sister. Don't let the collectors bite. I left them sitting in their own fear, their empires shaking. Beneath them, and in the darkness of the hallway, I let myself smile. They wanted me gone. But I was still here stronger than ever. And now, it was my turn. The clinking of glasses and low murmur of conversation filled the grand hall. I stood at the edge of the crowd watching Adrian and Emily smile like polished dolls. Emily's laughter rang out. "We're stronger than ever, aren't we, darling?" Adrian nodded, pretending ease. "Of course, business is thriving." I raised my glass. Thriving. "That's an interesting word." Adrian's smile faltered. "What do you mean?" "Maybe you should tell them," I said, stepping forward, "how close your company is to bankruptcy." Gasps rippled through the crowd. My uncle frowned. "Is this true, Adrian?" Emily interjected quickly. "She's lying, bitter as always." Pulled a folder from my bag, laying it on the table. Board reports, investor withdrawals, debt notices. It's all signed in Adrian's name. Silence fell. Papers rustled as curious hands reached. My cousin whispered, "This can't be real." Adrian's face drained. "Where did you get those? Does it matter?" I replied evenly. Emily's voice sharpened. "She forged them." I laughed coldly. "Funny, banks don't forge their own seals." My mother spoke hesitantly. "Adrian, tell us the truth." His lips parted, but no words came. I turned to Emily, "And you, dear sister, shall I tell them where my inheritance went?" Her eyes widened. "Don't." "Oh, but I will," I said, pulling another document. "It's transferred to your account. Every cent, signed under the guise of marital settlement. Except I never agreed." Gasps again. My father's voice was thunder. "Emily, you stole from your own blood." Emily's mask cracked. "I only took what I deserved." "You deserved nothing," I snapped. "You conned Adrian into marriage, and together you bled me dry." Adrian barked, "Enough." I faced him squarely. "Enough. You watched her rob me while you played the loyal husband. Eh? And now your empire collapses. Tell me, Adrian, how does it feel to choke on the lies you fed everyone here?" He stammered. I can fix this." "No," I cut in. "You can't. The world already knows." Emily's voice rose, shrill. "You planned this. You wanted to humiliate us." I tilted my head. "Correction. You humiliated yourselves." I only held up the mirror. Whispers surged around us. Relatives shifted, business partners stepped back, faces hard with judgment. My mother whispered, trembling, You're not the same girl anymore." I met her eyes steadily. "No, I'm not weak anymore." Adrian reached toward me, voice desperate. "Please, we can talk." I stepped back. "Talk, after everything you took." "No, Adrian." "Talk to your creditors." Emily lunged forward, voice breaking. "You'll regret this." I smiled coldly. "Regret belongs to you, Emily. Wear it well." The room buzzed with murmurs, disbelief, and betrayal. For once, I didn't shake, didn't bow my head. I stood tall, unbroken. Their masks had shattered and I was the one holding the shards. My mother's voice echoed long after the gathering ended. "You've become heartless, child." I sat in my room replaying her words, unable to silence them. The next morning, my father cornered me in the hall. "Do you feel proud, humiliating your own family?" I met his eyes, proud, no, but relieved. Relieved. His tone was bitter. "You destroyed your sister's reputation in front of everyone." "She destroyed mine first. I shot back. Or have you forgotten how easily you all believed I was weak and pitiful?" He flinched. "This isn't about belief. This is about cruelty." My mother entered, wringing her hands. "We pitied you because we loved you, not because we thought you worthless. But now you're cold, ruthless." I forced a laugh. Ruthless. Was it ruthless when Emily emptied my account? Or when Adrian left me for her? My mother's lips trembled. "We're not excusing them, but revenge consumes." It changes people. I turned away, whispering, maybe I needed to change. Silence pressed between us. Then my father said softly, at what cost? That night I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Whispers from the party already circled back, neighbors, murmuring. Cousins, shaking heads, cold, heartless, vengeful. Mia. Called just past midnight. You sound exhausted. I am, I admitted. They all think I'm cruel. Of course they do, she said. Because you're not cowering anymore. People mistake strength for cruelty. But what if they're right? My voice cracked. What if I've become like Emily? Mia snorted. Don't insult yourself. Emily destroyed for greed. You defended for survival. Her certainty steadied me, but doubt still gnawed. Then why does victory feel so heavy? Because you're human, she replied gently. But don't confuse guilt with weakness. You've earned the right to fight back. I exhaled shakily. Sometimes I wonder if I'm chasing revenge more than justice. She was quiet for a beat. Does it matter? They left you bleeding on the floor? Do you owe them kindness? Images rushed back. The sterile hospital bed, the beeping machines. My parents' distant pity. Emily's triumphant smirk. My fists clenched. No, I whispered. I don't owe them anything. Exactly, Mia said firmly. Don't let guilt chain you again. After the call, I sat in silence. Her words should have soothed me, but the ache lingered. I pressed my palm against my chest. My heart still beat wildly, torn between fury and grief. The house was quiet, shadows stretching long against the walls. I whispered into the dark, am I cruel? The silence offered no answer. I remembered Emily's hiss. You should have stayed. Dead. You're nothing now. My lips curved into a bitter smile. If survival makes me cruel, then so be it. I pulled the blanket over myself, eyes burning. Tomorrow the whispers would spread louder. But tonight I let the truth settle inside me. I wasn't heartless. I was surviving. The news spread faster than fire. Adrian's company had collapsed. By evening, the streets buzzed with laughter at his expense. Investors fled, reporters mocked, and his name tasted like scandal. I was sipping tea when my doorbell rang. I opened it to find Adrian swaying, reeking of alcohol. His tie was loose, his eyes bloodshot. Please, he slurred. Mien. I stepped aside silently, curious how low he had fallen. He stumbled onto the couch, burying his face in his hands. They all abandoned me, the partners, the investors, everyone. I folded my arms. You sound surprised. He lifted his head, desperate. I made a mistake. I should have waited for you. My laugh cut sharp. Waited? You left me bleeding. For a shortcut, I thought Emily gave you power, right? Now she gives you ruin. His jaw tightened. She betrayed me. Took money, lied to investors. I was blind. I tilted my head. And you think that earns pity? No, he whispered. I can't do this alone. The irony stung sweet. You weren't alone when you shoved me aside. You had her. Eyes searched mine, red with regret. I chose wrong. You were always stronger. I see it now. I leaned forward. You see it now, after my inheritance vanished? After you married my sister? You want redemption because you've lost everything. His lips trembled. I don't want money. I want you. The audacity made me laugh harder. You want me? Or you want the stability I built without you? He winced. I miss us. The way you looked at me. The way you believed in me. I shook my head. I believed until you tore me apart. Okay? Now I believe only in myself. Silence stretched, broken only by his ragged breathing. Finally he whispered, I'm ruined. They're calling me a fraud. I can't walk into a room without hearing laughter. Good, I said coldly. Now you know how it feels to be mocked, discarded, treated like nothing. Tears blurred in his eyes, but I felt no mercy. You're cruel, he muttered. I met his gaze steadily. No, Adrian. I'm free. He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. You don't get to touch me, I said sharply. Not now, not ever. His body sagged. Then what am I supposed to do? I opened the door, letting the night air spill in. Figure it out alone. He staggered to his feet, shoulders slumped. One day you'll regret this. I smiled faintly. The only regret I have is ever loving you. He stumbled out, and the door clicked shut behind him. For the first time, I felt weight lift from my chest. Watching him fall apart didn't wound me. It freed me. The knock on my door was frantic. When I opened it, Emily stood there, mascara smeared, hair tangled. Eyes wild. You have to help me, she blurted, grabbing my wrist. I pulled free. Help you. After everything. She pushed inside, pacing. They're all against Medrian, the investors. Even her voice cracked. Even him. I raised a brow. Him. She froze, realizing her slip. It doesn't matter. Just please, you're my sister. I laughed bitterly. Now you remember I'm your sister. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I was stupid, okay? I thought Adrian could give me security. But he's ruined. And the man I trusted, he left me too. Which man? I asked coolly. Her face burned. You don't need details. On the contrary, I said, I'd love to know which rich fool you seduced behind Adrian's back. She glared. You think you're so righteous. You've always wanted to see me suffer. Oh. I replied sharply. I wanted you to stop stealing my life. Now you're choking on the very lies you built. She grabbed my arm again. Don't act like you're clean. You exposed us in front of everyone. You know how humiliating that was? Humiliating? I scoffed. You humiliated me for years. You paraded Adrian as your prize while I sat alone with nothing. Her lips trembled. I only wanted to be loved. And I only wanted peace, I said. But you couldn't let me have it. She sank onto the couch, sobbing loudly. He promised me everything. Houses, jewels, status, and now he's gone. Do you know what it's like to be discarded? Yes, I said coldly. I know exactly what it's like. She looked up, desperation raw in her eyes. Then you should understand. Please, just this once help me. Talk to father. Convince him I can fix this. I shook my head. You want me to clean your mess while you never lifted a finger for me? No, Emily, I'm done. Her sobs turned into shrieks. You're cruel. Do you think you're better than me just because you stood tall once? You'll never escape the stain of what we did to you. I leaned closer. The difference is I faced my pain. You hide behind men until they abandon you. Her hand lashed out, but I caught her wrist midair. Don't try that again. She crumpled, sliding to the floor. I have nothing left, she whispered. For the first time, I believed her, but pity didn't come. Only clarity. You finally understand loss, I said quietly, but don't confuse it with redemption. Her eyes searched mine, pleading for mercy. I opened the door. Leave, Emily. Find out who you are without stealing from me. She staggered past, broken. As the door shut, silence filled the room. 4. Once Emily's cries weren't my burden, they were her own. The town looked smaller than I remembered. When I walked past the old square, people whispered, some with pity, others with envy. I didn't care anymore at home. My suitcase lay open. Emily stood in the doorway, arms crossed. So you're really leaving? She said flatly. Yes, I replied, folding the last dress. There's nothing left here for me. She stepped. Closer, nothing. What about family? What about me? I turned, meeting her gaze. Family doesn't betray each other, Emily, and you stopped being my sister the moment you chose envy over love. Her lips tightened. You think running away makes you strong? I shook my head. No, staying here, trapped in the ruins you built, that would be weakness. She laughed bitterly. You'll regret this. The world isn't kind. You'll be alone. I smiled faintly. Alone doesn't scare me anymore. Her voice rose. If you think you've won, you destroyed Adrian, ruined me, and now you just walk away as if you're pure. I didn't destroy you, I said quietly. You destroyed yourself, Adrian. 2. I simply refused to drown with you. Her eyes glistened. You've changed. Yes, I admitted. I had to. She leaned against the wall, whispering, I never thought you'd be the one to walk away. I zipped the suitcase shut. That's the difference between us. You wait for someone to save you. I learned to save myself. She laughed again. But it was hollow. Where will you go? Somewhere new. Somewhere my name is mine alone. Her jaw clenched. You'll regret this. I walked past her, suitcase in hand. No, Emily. For the first time, I won't. Outside, the air felt lighter. The street was quiet, the morning sun cutting through the gray clouds. Adrian stood across the road, disheveled, a bottle dangling from his hand. You're leaving? He called. Yes, I answered firmly. He staggered closer. Stay, please. We can fix this. I stopped him with a look. No, Adrian, I don't need fixing anymore. His shoulders slumped, and for once, I felt nothing. I turned away. Each step carried me farther from the ashes of my past. At the station, the train roared in, wind whipping my hair across my face. I gripped the handle of my suitcase, heart steady. A woman beside me asked softly, First time leaving? Yes, I said, smiling. And the first time I'm free. As the doors slid open, I hesitated only once. Behind me lay betrayal, whispers, nights of doubt. Ahead was uncertainty, but it was mine. I boarded, the door shutting with finality. Through the glass, I saw the town shrink, Emily's shadow fading, Adrian stumbling away. For the first time, I wasn't broken. I was reborn.